The PGA Championship in full swing, and you'll be able to watch the final two rounds right here on WBTV. Our friends at CBS Sports, of course, will have the broadcast and the voice. The voice that you will be hearing during the PGA Championship is the one of the legendary Jim Nantz, and we are very pleased to be joined by Jim Nantz himself. Hello, friend. Can I start the interview like this? I feel like I have
Yes, you may, Jorge. Hello, friends. It's good to be back in Charlotte. I know that.
That is right. Look, let me start right there with the catchphrase, the iconic catchphrase, hello, friends. How was that born, Jim?
It's actually born as a way of trying to connect with my father, who was suffering from Alzheimer's. I was trying to play word games, reminding words that would perhaps get his brain clicking a little bit faster. So I would open up my broadcast with hello, friends. That was my signal to him that I was speaking to him at that moment. By the way, so that you know, my dad was from Mount Holly. My mother was from Charlotte. All of my family is from the Charlotte region. We all grew up on WBT, and they would be very excited. My folks are both gone now, and they are buried right there in the Charlotte area, spending the rest of the eternity right there back in their homeland. But they would be very excited. I'm on WBT right now.
Oh, listen, Jim, I want to touch on that precisely. You know, an iconic tournament in the PGA Championship. You get to call it in the city you were born in, the city your family's from. What does that mean to you as somebody who's called iconic tournaments and games and leagues all over the planet?
It's truly meaningful to me. It's a chance to be able to be a voice to the world about this area. And I'm very fond of everything about Quail Hollow Club and folks from Charlotte. So, yeah, I mean, I don't take that responsibility lightly.
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught! It's a miracle!
Your voice is the perfect marriage to these large events. You look at some of your calls. We can go back to when Jack was coming out of hibernation, or maybe when Rory just recently won the Masters, or even if we look at the NFL and Jaden Daniels and that Hail Mary against the Chicago Bears. Tell me, Jim, what's it like? How do you choose the perfect words in the perfect moment to elevate a moment that is already pretty much at its highest level?
You're very kind to say that, first off, so I'm grateful. They're all case-by-case basis. They're all off the top of the head. We take these classes when we're young in school called public speaking, and there's a segment of it called extemporaneous speaking. Well, that really proved to be, more than anything, something that would define my skill set or my job moving forward, was to be able to see things and describe without really any preparation, on the fly, being able to tell people what you see. So when Rory holes out a putt to finally get the career Grand Slam, and he's taken us on one of the wildest rides of all time, I don't know where it comes from. It's not pre-planned, but just off the top of my head, I was able to say the long journey is over. McIlroy has his masterpiece. And I'm really grateful that you mentioned, Jorge, you mentioned the Jaden Daniels Hail Mary throw last season against Chicago. You know, I had no idea that was coming. And it was, you're lucky if you have one Hail Mary game-ending play in your NFL career. And I've had three, but that was the best one. And that was the one that I think I never even gave it a thought until it happened.
We've talked about the NFL. We've talked about the Masters, whether it's PGA Tour, college basketball, NBA. You've looked at it and you've done it. At this point of your career, is there anything else that you think that you need to still check off of that bucket list?
No, not really. I mean, I've been so fortunate. I used to say the British Open was on my bucket list, and that word got back to the BBC, and I got to be the foreign voice, as they called it, the international voice on the BBC over in Europe, and I got to broadcast that tournament for several years until the BBC lost the contract rights to the Open Championship. But listen, here's my saying. I live my life like this, Jorge. I long for nothing, and I'm grateful for everything. So the chance to have a voice as an undercurrent to the 2025 PGA Championship from Charlotte. I'm grateful. I mean, it's such a gift.
We're glad that you're back in Charlotte. We're glad that you're back in the Queen City. And I know that I can't put you on the spot and ask you anything about the PGA Championship, but I know that you'll say everyone is going to put out a heck of a showing this weekend.
We are. Hopefully we'll have one of those lasting memories here. Something epic will happen. We're coming off of one of the most memorable stories in the history of the game. And I have so much faith in Quail Hollow and this course and this moment in time in golf. I think it's going to be very special and very excited, as I've said, to be back in my hometown and broadcasting this championship.
Well, we're excited to have you, Jim. Jim Nantz, the legendary broadcaster for CBS Sports. You will be hearing his voice right here on WBTV as we broadcast the final rounds of the PGA Championship. Jim, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate your thoughtful questions. Great to be here.